I'm Dr. Kaz, your ozone gas analyzer expert, folks, and today we are presenting to you this sophisticated analyzer. It's our ozone ultraviolet UV analyzer, folks. It's made in a very beautifully brushed aluminum housing. And folks, understand, it's an analyzer. What does it mean? The analyzers are a little bit more sophisticated, especially in this case, it's using ultraviolet absorption. It has a mercury lamp inside, and at a certain wavelength, it absorbs the ozone, it's detected, and it presents to you the correct concentration. Folks, it's a little different to the handheld units that we have. They employ electrochemical sensing technology, much smaller, less power, hence it's in a handheld unit. This is a little bit bulkier, takes some power, and hence it is a little larger, of course, but more sensitive. 0.001 ppm resolution. In other words, 1 part per billion. Top range is up to 50 parts per million. So right down to 0.001 ppm up to 50 ppm. The range is huge, the resolution is amazing, and we're out there to compete with the incumbents, folks, with this well-designed and built unit by us, folks. Check it out. The back, it has simple functionality, folks. That was my ambition in bringing this to market. Inlet, outlet, so you could do inline sensing. We have our power port, simple on-off switch, and communication port. This plugs up to the computer via RS485 Modbus connection, so the super users can program everything from changing the sampling rate to data logging. You can do a lot. And folks, check it out. What's missing? There's no buttons, and that was done intentionally so anyone can use it. Plug it up, turn it on, and it starts to sense ozone. Very easy, and it doesn't confuse users. Folks, and check it out, it comes in a very well-built case. We found the best case on the market, the strongest case. It is actually waterproof and shockproof case. So when it comes to you, we're guaranteeing it's going to come in one piece. It's very important. The analyzer is expensive. It isn't for the faint-hearted, yet it competes very well in price and specification with the incumbents, which we are out to grab. Okay, folks, I hope you enjoyed this unboxing. Enjoy it. All the details are there. And make sure you look into our tutorial on how to use the software. And by the way, 30-day money-back guarantee, 1-year warranty, and we calibrate the analyzers here with our ozone primary calibrator to NIST Traceable Sources. All these things are important, folks. Make sure you're asking these questions when you're searching and doing your research. Have a great day. See you soon. Let's get straight to the unboxing of our ozone analyzer, folks. Check it out. It's our FD UV03, folks. It comes in a very solid carry case, waterproof. Go ahead, unbuckle this guy, and as you could see, the case takes also the cable ties for more secure transportation. Folks, immediately you will find your calibration certificate, calibrated to NIST Traceable Sources, ozone, very, very important. You will find your extensive user manual. Make sure you have everything. The checklist is here with our signature and date and serial number, folks. Extensive manual also on our website. Next, folks, let's go through all the components that's residing in this lovely package and make sure you have everything. First, folks, is our RS485 to USB converter and 5-pin cable. Very important you have this. Okay, that's how it looks like. There's the converter and there is the 5-pin cable. I will show you how to hook that up momentarily. Next, our power cable that connects onto our power adapter, 24 volt 1 amp converter for this ozone analyzer, folks. Okay, here it is. Now that's the power adapter. Put that on the side. Next we have, now what's different here, guys, is that Dr. Kaz is thinking ahead for everybody, because many times we spend a lot of money on analyzers and we don't really know if they're working. So what we've done is we've included a bump tester, an ozone bump tester, which means it's actually a little ozone generator. And on the end here, you have the open grill side. you will turn that on and you will expose that to the analyzer, hold it about 5 inches away, and that is a quick bump test that comes with the unit, folks. And here is the golden jewel, folks. It is the UV analyzer to detect ozone, folks. Let's have a quick look at it. Back, the side, top, and the bottom, folks. Okay, so let's go through it very quickly. We have the LCD screen, rack mounted, plate at the front, aluminum brush housing, rubber feet to reduce any vibration. The back panel is actually the most important. Our inlet bulb, our outlet bulb, our on-off switch over here, folks, our power port, 2-pin power port, and our 5-pin communication port, folks. So we're going to put that all on the side and we're going to start this baby up and give you guys a demonstration. Be clear, these are all the items you should have with a package. I do believe I may have missed the T-piece and filter and the tubing when I was unboxing, folks, but that will be in the case and explain how all this works, folks. Okay, so let's put that on the side. Get your clippers, unclip those cable ties, and let's get the power straight to the unit. Plug up the power to the power cord and plug it up to the 110 volt power right there, folks. Okay, now on the back we have our 2-pin power cable and there is a notch, so put the notch up on top and go ahead and screw that all in until it's finger tight. Not too tight, folks, not too tight. Okay, now here's the analyzer, and what we're going to do is just bring it up so you could see what's going on. I'm going to turn on the back switch. Okay, the back switch is here. I'm just going to turn that on. You could hear the pump running, and it's got a 600-second countdown. Okay, about 10 minutes, and that's going to be counting down. And what's happening here is that the lamp, the mercury lamp, is warming up and coming to somewhat of a thermal equilibrium, but we all know that we need much more than 10 minutes for equilibrium. So anyway, it's a 10-minute countdown. We will be back once it starts up. Okay, folks, we're back to the last 10-second countdown of the analyzer coming to start up. So I wanted to take this so you could hear what happens. So you hear the pump working and you get your 0.00. Okay, now you also hear the solenoid clicking over from sampling to then averaging. Okay, so that is very normal, what you are hearing and experiencing, and that is how it should be for you. Once that has occurred, go ahead, grab your ozone bump tester, press down the button, and you'll see the blue light turn on. Okay, now this is producing ozone. You could actually smell it coming out of the grill. Momentarily, you could pop it on your nose and smell the ozone popping out. It's probably producing a couple of 100 parts per million, so we do not want to stick it right close to the inlet. We just want to hover it a few inches away from it. So I'll do that now so you can see the analyzer drawing in the air coming from the small bump tester, and you will see the analyzer responding. And the purpose of doing this, here we go. The purpose of doing this, once you've recorded, you could take that off and press that to the off position. Now, once you have a positive reading, you are certain the analyzer is operating. It hasn't been damaged in shipping, or no components have fallen loose where it isn't reading at all. So if we've come to this point, you could feel confident that the analyzer is functioning as we have shipped it out from our labs in Los Angeles at Forensics Detectors. Again, this will be coming down to a baseline of 0 once it evacuates that ozone air that's within the system, and then it'll be reading to 0. Okay, now we're reading 0. That was about a 40-second wait. And next I want to talk about setting up the T-piece for various ozone analyses. Okay, so the analyzer is operating as we left it, and now we're going to talk about the inlet port. So there is a micro pump. It's drawing air into the inlet and it's expelling it at the bottom barb over here. So in and out, in and out. If I had a high concentration of ozone and I expel it as it is, it may come back in. So if that's the case, put a tube of some length to exhaust the ozone so we do not contaminate the inlet barb. So that's the first thing. So if you're not going to attach anything to these guys, the minimum you could attach is the exhaust tubing. So you could get some tubing and you could simply attach it onto the barb. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing is that you can simply use a tube, pop it onto the barb over here, and you could sample ozone at this point. So every 10 seconds, the solenoid will be switched to allow air to be drawn into the inlet barb, which is now at the end of this tube. But don't forget, good practice when it comes to ozone. Ozone decays, folks. So no matter what material you actually use, it just transporting through this small tubing orifice decays the ozone. So at this point, at that point, you will have a different ozone measurement. Obviously, it's not going to be in the ppm. It's going to be some small percentage difference, but it could be important if you're doing very fine ppb measurements. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, the next question, Dr. Kaz, but I've got a pressurized airflow coming from my pump or coming from a process. In that case, you can't pop a pressurized amount of air into the pump, into the barb over here, excuse me, because you're forcing air and the micro pump will be strained, folks. That's the problem. So you have to normalize that pressure and give the micro pump some leeway. And the way we do that is with a T-piece. Okay, so we pop our pressurized air in this point. Let's say it's coming from a tube. Let's just take this in as an example. We're going to attach that onto there, onto the T-piece. The air will be flowing in. When the micro pump engages, it's going to draw the air on demand. When it doesn't engage, it will be exiting from this exit port. You see that, folks? So air in, it will be coming in as the analyzer requires it and sampling as required. If not, it'll be exiting, and therefore we don't put unnecessary pressure and strain on the micro pump. It's a standard T-piece. It's good practice to do that. Again, if you are popping in some pressurized air coming from a pump or a process line or some other pressure point. Okay, that's the way it works. Okay, so we include this T-piece setup with the analyzer. Now, there could be a situation where you pop that on and for whatever reason, air is drawn this way. That's why we have the filter, so we can filter in the fresh air coming into the micro pump. Another reason why I like to put this is it gives it a small delta of back pressure, so that it's a very small amount, so that indeed we don't have any dilution effects as the micro pump is operating. Okay, and that's the way it works, folks. It's quite straightforward. If there's any questions, please let us know. Now, the next point is this RS485 converter to a 5-pin cable. We're going to explain that in the next setup videos, but for now, make sure this is connected. And the way you do that, there is a notch. Pop it up and just draw that in slowly, okay, folks? This isn't meant to be screwed in. It's just meant to be placed in quite nicely. And we're going to pop this into our computer Windows PC port in a USB port over there, okay? So we're going to talk about that in the next video, but that's the physical hardware arrangement of the FD UV03 analyzer, folks. Have a great day and see you soon.